United States of America, known as Land of the Free, Home of the Brave, has come to symbolize freedom throughout the world. People from all nations and from all walks of life have called the United States home. The United States has welcomed them with open arms. Indeed, the famed Statue of Liberty is the embodiment of this dream. In New York's public education system alone, its student body represents 145 countries. The United States has a deep affinity with Supreme Master Chinghai. With her boundless love and compassion, Supreme Master Chinghai has provided humanitarian assistance to many parts of the United States. In 1993, she sent relief teams to provide financial and material assistance to the victims of the 6 Midwestern states that were severely affected by heavy rain and flooding. On December 27, 1997, at the benefit concert, A Journey Through Aesthetic Realms, Supreme Master Chinghai generously contributed $100,000 each to the Vietnam Children's Fund and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. The following year, at another benefit concert, One World of Peace Through Music, she once more contributed generously, with 2 charity organizations being the recipients of her love. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital received $150,000, and the Starlight Children's Foundation received a check for $100,000. Additionally, in the face of one of the worst human tragedies ever to occur on U.S. soil, on September 11, 2001, Supreme Master Chinghai responded immediately, sending relief teams from around the country and all over the world to Ground Zero in New York City. Supreme Master Chinghai's financial contributions amounted to over $300,000 to organizations aiding the victims. To this day, Supreme Master Chinghai continues to extend her loving compassion to all parts of the U.S., from Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, and Alabama, to California, Florida, Texas, Hawaii, and other states. We now invite you to listen to the following lecture by Supreme Master Chinghai entitled, The Way to Gain the Kingdom of God is Through Enlightenment, given on February 24, 1991 in Boston, Massachusetts, USA.
Supreme Master Chinghai's lectures are not a complete meditation instruction. Please do not try alone. For free of charge guidance, please visit www.godsdirectcontact.org or contact any of our centers near you.
A Buddha had reached enlightenment. Being Buddha, after many, many lives of good living, how can we, the ordinary people, use a shortcut to achieve enlightenment or heaven in this life? Does it seem far-fetched?
No, it isn't. How do you know that you have not been good in many lifetimes? Can you prove it to me that you have been very bad? Huh? And can you prove it to me that Buddha has been good in many lifetimes? He only told you and you only hear say. You don't know if it's true, and you don't know if you have been good or bad. So why should we be so negative? We must believe our worth, because God said that everyone is made after the image of God, and we are exactly like God. So why should we feel that we are inferior? Now I tell you, the Buddha, whether he has been very good and noble in many lifetimes, that I don't know. But I know he didn't do anything good during his lifetime, except after enlightenment. Now he has been born in the palace, and he was looked after so exceedingly well. And then he was married, and he had over 500 wives. Apart from the main one, he has many beautiful girls and dancers who look after him and who dance for him every day, every night. And he had 4 palaces for 4 seasons. He spent all the taxpayers' money in his country for 30 years. Now you tell me what kind of good things he did, that he is entitled for enlightenment. it is already said that enlightenment is a gift from God. It is not achieved through virtues or charitable deeds. Yeah? We cannot get enlightenment. We all can become Buddha, or at least become liberated. Otherwise, why should God send Jesus or Buddha or Mohammed to us if we are so hopeless? Yeah? If only the virtuous people can achieve enlightenment, then I don't really know who is virtuous, because there is a saying that every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. And we are not that sinful as we think. Sin is also an illusion. After you understand this, no sin, no virtues. But you have to work hard to understand this, and then you're free. And the Kuan Yin method offers you this free way to understand yourself immediately, that you are originally noble. And after that, maybe you see into your past life, and you can tell me whether you have been doing good or bad, okay?
Each religious leader used to build up his or her following from a locality or region. You have been rapidly developing a great following of many people in many countries: China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, United States, Panama, Brazil, Costa Rica, etc. What do you think attracts people to you? I have my own theory, but I wish to hear your theory.
I don't know. I tell you the truth. If you have any theory, please tell me. Maybe I understand myself better. I just go where I'm requested to go. I have no plan for spreading the doctrine or what I know. I am invited to go to places more than I could cope with. And so maybe you explain to me why, then I know also. I do not understand also what attracts me to people or what attracts people to me. It just happened. If you have any better idea, please tell me. Don't hesitate. Come. Why? Why is that?
Excuse me, Master. Several people say they love you. That's why.
I love to hear that person who speaks her opinion or his opinion. Please come up. The Vietnamese, they say they are attracted and respect my way of speaking, my preaching, my teaching. And other people say they love me. I don't know what else. But I'm a hard-to-love person. Difficult to love me, because I work fast, and if you don't move fast, I will scold you. And I want you to be perfect. Yesterday even, before yesterday. Therefore it's difficult to love me. I don't know why people love me. I'm surprised, yes. That person doesn't want to tell me. You don't grant me an enlightenment? All right.
There are many helpers or great spiritual teachers available to us these days. Big market, huh? I have met and spent some time around a few of them. Some of these teachers seem to be very enlightened, and we feel we are truly getting true spiritual awakening from them. But also, their behavior has proven to be inappropriate. Can this be explained? You were just speaking that the enlightened one can only act from the divine will. How can the enlightened one be held responsible for his or her behavior, or can he, she act in whatever way he is, quote, guided? How can we know who is enlightened? Can we trust them?
You can't. You don't. You don't know who is enlightened, and you can't trust anyone, except yourself. Well, if you cannot trust people, then pray. And look into yourself, see if your motive is sincere, if you are pure, if you truly want enlightenment, then you will meet the right master. All depends on you, not on the whatever master. No? If you are pure, like attract likes. So if you meet a lousy master, don't blame him. Blame yourself. Okay? So now, that answers the first question also. If anyone who happened to stumble into a lousy master or a bad master, that's their own fault. Yeah? They should check their own behavior, their own motive, their own purity, their own sincerity, and then pray again, and God will guide them to another master. There is always the law of supply and demand. Ask and it shall be given. Knock and it shall be open.
Thưa sư cô, nếu mà sự truyền tâm ấn bị cản trở bởi cha mẹ, không phải vì cha mẹ không tin tưởng, nhưng vì sợ có nhiều điều con cái của mình không làm nổi, theo con nghĩ cha mẹ cũng là một cái đạo, con phải tuân theo, như vậy con phải làm sao?
You see, it's not that your parents forbid you to believe this teaching. They just worry that you couldn't make it. They just try to protect you from falling in case you go in the halfway and fall out and make a trouble, lose your faith or make trouble for the master. Then you have to convince them that you can do it, that you truly want the enlightenment, that you could endure the vegetarian diet and the meditation all the time. You have to convince them in a very polite and loving way. It's a very easy question. Yeah? Not that your parents do not want you to follow, they just express their opinion that you might not be able to do it. They might think you cannot eat vegetarian for a long time, you don't meditate enough and make trouble for the master even, maybe that. They're just honest, you know. They say if you could do it, it's okay, but you might not be able to do it and you just make a fool of yourself and things like that. And then you have to convince them, that's all. And be sincere and loving. Okay, this is very funny. I translate to you. They ask the question, you know the Vietnamese, they read too many books and they watch too many TVs and they know too many Zen masters. Okay, so the question is like this. When the Shakyamuni Buddha was born and he stepped 7 steps, supposed to, yeah, I wasn't there, I don't know. And they weren't there either, but they believe it, okay. Let's suppose that is the truth. He walked 7 steps and he raised one hand up like this and one hand down like that, and he say, sky above, the earth beneath, I am the highest one, yeah? I am the only one, something like that. I mean, he's the greatest. And everybody believes it until now. So I asked them, it's very funny how people believe a child, a newborn baby, and doesn't believe me. I am born many decades ago and I practice hard and I do many so-called virtuous deeds. I do not say this to boast to you, but what I mean is it's a very funny thing. The baby was just born and say something and people believe up till now, 2,500 years. And I am now here and I practice very hard, vegetarian, Himalaya and masters, and I read many books and scriptures and I say I'm enlightened, maybe. Then nobody believes me. How come? And I said to them, it's also funny that the Buddha, since he was born until he left the palace to become a monk, he never did any good things. I told you before, he spent all the taxpayers' money for his winter palace and summer palace and all the beauties who danced for him 24 hours and who pleased his every wish. And he did nothing good. You might do something good for your society, you pay tax, you eat vegetarian, you go to the church, you build a church, you have Mother Teresa, whatever, or have the refugees. You've done many good things in your life. You look after your parents even. He didn't even do that. And how can he become Buddha? And everybody believes him. And he was in India, not here. And then he say things that nobody knows whether it was really truly recorded or not. And now I'm telling directly here, presently, and many people not believe me. I say this word is nonsense. I say, if Buddha is so bad like this and he could become Buddha, why not you? Why do you look down upon yourself? And that's your fault. No wonder why you stay in slavery, life after life, to the Maya. You don't blame the Maya, you must blame yourself. We don't have confidence. We don't have self-respect. We don't introspect. We don't compare. We do not study. We do not take time to analyze things. And no wonder we are not enlightened. No wonder we always bow to the wooden Buddha and to the wooden statues or to the stone's image or whatever. We always remain slave if we do not know our real value. I do not come here to make you my disciples. I want to make you the masters. You understand? You should be the masters. You have been slave long enough. That's it. That's my purpose.
Master, why do we not remember the previous lives and deaths?
Because it's too much for us to cope with. Too much burden. We have enough to do with today. With tax and with war and with children, and with our own immediate problems and karmas. Should you know that you have been such and such, or very bad, or very good, or very noble in the last life, it would be more confusing. And you could not focus to the task at hand in this life. Therefore, God draws, or the natural law draws the curtain. You should know it when it's necessary. You would know it in time. And in meditation, sometimes you know it too, if it should be necessary for your progress. If it should not, then you don't know also, if it's not necessary. Jesus also say what? Do not worry about tomorrow. It's enough that we take care of today. If we don't want to know about tomorrow, which affects us, which is important to us, how much less should we know about the past, which is already gone? Understand?
My brother died recently, 12 days ago. It seems as if he is now in great anguish. How can I best help him? Or how can I assist him?
Pray or practice Kuan Yin method, and he will be liberated too, immediately. Okay?
What kind of paintings are you doing? May we see an example of it?
I don't have it here, but I have some video or something like that. They're in Taiwan, most of them. I paint anything. Throw some colors on the canvas. What kind of painting? I paint fruits. I paint still life. I paint panorama. I paint my own idea, my own expression of some of the truth of philosophy. For example, well, I cannot tell you in color, but I can tell you the content of one of the painting. Is that okay? Yes. For example, I paint one picture about that big. Inside, the color is very bright. Even blue was very bright, and yellow was very bright, golden and hot, bright and hot. The stone was cold and blue, but the sand was red and yellow and golden like and hot. It vibrated the hot energy, and you feel that it hurt your eyes if you see it too long. So inside there were stones on the sand, on the beach, just a stone, many stones. One big stone, it looks like an old man with white hair, looked very impressive and authoritative. And the other stones on the other side with the baby stones, also impressive. And they are stones, no doubt. You can see immediately they are stones. But the expression, like human, you cannot tell why it is human, but it is human. Open mouth and things like that. So I put the name for the picture is convention. Means the stones, they are meeting each other and they talk. And you know how long a stone can talk. And their faces are cool and cold and impressive, and very stubborn. And all the sands around them and all the trees around are really on fire already. Too long, they talk too long and they talk nonsense. And the surrounding is already on fire, but the stone is still very cold and sit there and still continue to talk. So I said it, convention. And this is one of the pictures to express some of the philosophy. Many other pictures are various kind. Some I painted the Costa Rica panorama with beautiful flowers view and a meditation center on the hill. And some I paint the orchids in Costa Rica, and some I paint in Panama. Flowers or different things also sometimes expressed in a kind of a Zen way of life, yeah? Through the picture, yes. If you want to see, I don't know how I can do it. Some are in Costa Rica, some are in Taiwan. What shall we do? Shall I take them here and exhibit it to you? Huh? Yes? You would like to see them? I will think, okay? Some of my pictures are sold. 3 are sold. More or less, each one about $30,000. One of it is $30,000, some is $29,000, or some is $40,000. About 6 of them are sold. 3 are sold, gone, and another 3 already booked. And I'm thinking whether I sell these 3 or not yet. But they already required, to buy them. One is for 1 million NT, Taiwanese money. It's about 30,000 US dollar. And the other 2, 1,500,000. It's about 40 or 50,000 American dollars.
Do you consider yourself the living equivalent of past masters like Buddha and Jesus Christ?
You can say maybe yes. I do not consider myself anything. I don't think that much. I only think when it's necessary. I only think when there is an immediate demand of thinking. I'm not preoccupied much about who I am, and what am I to do, what's God going to do with me, things like that. These abstracting things, I leave it. I don't think of them anymore, okay?
What is the form of Buddha's wisdom? Is it revealed in logic or intuition or anything beyond it? What is Buddha wisdom?
All beyond this, beyond all these things. Whatever we can think of is not. It's not yet Buddha's wisdom. Buddha's wisdom is, we can only know it when we reach it. We cannot express. But we know so definite, like black and white. When the situation arises, yes. I mean, you don't go around all day and carrying your Buddha's wisdom with you. It's not so. You just live in it, live with it, and you adjust it, okay?
I understand that in Buddhism, one can reach enlightenment when he is born as a man, not a woman. How do you explain your ability to reach nirvana?
I'll be born again as man, okay? It's true that a woman cannot reach Buddhahood. But it's equally true that a man cannot reach Buddhahood. As long as you still think that you are a man or you are a woman, forget Buddhahood, okay? I tell you why I should be a woman and reach Buddhahood. Suppose I reach Buddhahood. And why should I be a woman? Okay? I tell you why. Because we had enough with men. We need a change, all right? Why should Buddhahood be fixed like a piece of chocolate or candy? In a pattern or in a mold or from the factory. Why should it be that way? Is Buddhahood such a commercial thing or such a material substance that we can mold it and we can dictate it into manhood or womanhood? It's nonsense. Why do people believe in such nonsense? I can never understand. But suppose I am a Buddha, yeah, suppose, just believe it for the sake of arguing. Then why should I not be a woman? I tell you why. We, mankind, have been very unenlightened since long. That's why we have this question. Now we always look down upon woman as an instrument of some people, yeah, I don't say everyone, of housewife, houseworking, bearing children, sex partner. Now it is time that we should be more noble, more intelligent, more rational, more logical, and look upon a woman as an instrument of divine power. Change our attitude, change our conception in order to free ourselves from prejudice, from lower way of thinking, from a limited viewpoint, and therefore limit ourselves. We should be free. We should be free from all conceptions. We should understand things in a broader viewpoint. We should know things the way they are and not from preconceived notions. God is limitless. Why should not God be in a woman? If the Buddha was born and he was already walking and say he was the greatest, and all the world believe it, why should not believe in a woman? Women are the mothers of all the Buddhas. I am not even a Buddha, I'm a mother of Buddhas. Do you understand? Yes, without woman, no man was ever born. I'm sorry, okay?
Some Vietnamese question now.
They told me that I'm a Vietnamese, okay, because I'm born in Vietnam. That apart from promising that I help people like the refugees, some kind of symbolic help, if I have any kind of plan to raise the standard of the Vietnamese country, make them richer, for example, or stable in economic and political issue, etc. I say, yes, I have the plan. I tell all the Vietnamese to practice Kuan Yin method, then the country will change. But I have no plan in a physical way, because we cannot change the environment if our karma is not changed. Our environment is the result from our own karmic pattern. If it could be changed, the environment, through an enlightened master power, then the Buddha would have changed it long ago. When he was there, his country was still at war also, and the people are still in poverty, even up till now. So they cannot blame me if I don't change the Vietnamese situation. Buddha couldn't even, and Jesus couldn't. They were greater in history and more followers than me. If they couldn't do it, why should I? How could I? You understand? We have to change our way of thinking, our conception. Then the environment will change. The kingdom of God is within us means if we know the kingdom of God within, then everything is the kingdom of God. If not, we cannot have kingdom of God without. That's what the meaning of the kingdom of God is within. Also it is said in the Bible, seek you first the kingdom of God, and all the things shall be added unto you. And we seek all the things first and ask the kingdom of God to add it into it. One of those things only, you know, and that is a perverted view.
Xin đi cô cho biết phải tu luyện như thế nào để ngưng bặt hơi thở hậu thiên và ngưng nhịp đập của quả tim mà vẫn sống.
Okay, they asked me, can I teach them a meditation method which stop the breathing and stop the heartbeat? I say, no need to be so hurry. Wait a while and you die, and then all this will happen. This is not a necessary thing to do. We have no need to intervene with nature function. This is not a way to enlightenment. Okay?
Phải tu luyện như thế nào để luồng khí nóng càng ngày càng nóng hơn, để trở thành luồng hỏa hầu tam muội?
Trời ơi! They asked me if I teach them any meditation method which would increase their bodily heat and they become like a flame of samadhi, you know, a samadhi power to heat, you know. I say, no need, just jump into the oven. Jump into the oven. I say, again, this is nonsense. I have nothing to do with enlightenment. I say, maybe the masters or the practitioner in the Himalaya, they don't have enough heat, you know. They must practice what we call tumor heat. From the solar plexus here, they develop the heat to warm their body during the Himalaya weather, yeah? It's cold, yeah. But we here, we have central heating, we have heaters, we have everything. No need for that. And I cite an example. One person came to the Buddha and boasted that he could walk across the water. Buddha said, how long did you practice before you reach it? He said, 25 years. Buddha said, why waste time and money? I only pay 5 cents and I could go by boat across the river. Yes, these are wrong conceptions. We practice to enlighten ourselves, to know what else can we do for mankind and how we relate it to the universe. Yeah? How can we offer anything to the universe which offers us so much? Yeah? Or to free ourselves from suffering, free ourselves to be slave of birth and death and reincarnation. But we do not practice to show off. And no need to increase heat or cold, no need to stop the heartbeat and breathing. These are ephemeral phenomena. These are the working, the functioning of nature. We do not bother. You understand? Buddha nature is not in the breath, it's not in the heartbeats, neither in the heat from the stomach. Buddha nature is also in them, but they are only one small aspect of Buddha nature. We should find the whole and we understand every details. We should not just bother about details and forget the whole. Okay? So the wrong conception need to be changed in order to rise our level, at least the intellectual level, in order to understand further. If we keep attached to this kind of conception or worn out prejudice, we have no hope to be more civilized, more intelligent. And no need to ask me to make any plan for the Vietnamese country if they always attach and cling to this kind of conception, because any plan will fail if we don't have a high conception to sustain it. You understand what I mean? If we want a beautiful house, for example, or a Mercedes-Benz, we must have the condition to sustain it, to keep it. Yeah? We cannot just buy it and then without gas and then without mortgage and without the credit we cannot pay and we cannot drive. You know what I mean? So there's no plan necessary for Vietnam, except that the Vietnamese people, or any countries, citizens, they should change their viewpoint. They should raise their level of understanding and know the true conception. And that's the only plan that we should endeavor to bring forth. Okay?
Does the vegetarian diet include fish? If Jesus Christ was not a vegetarian, wasn't it a deterrent for him?
He was a vegetarian. And vegetarian doesn't include fish, because fish is not a vegetable.
I guess this person doesn't know that Christ was a vegetarian. Does the book say in the Bible?
Christ is a vegetarian. You read into my book, okay? Why should we be vegetarian? I have made some proof in there, okay? Please read my book. The free sample. Yeah? And if you want further, you can write to me. You should be already prepared in your mind by now to be a vegetarian. And if you think vegetarian is still a problem and you think Jesus is not a vegetarian, then you should study further first, yeah, and come to the next lecture or next initiation. Vegetarian should be a way of life. There should not be any discussion anymore. If we want to truly lead a life of love thy neighbor, the neighbors, including our animal friends, especially they harms us in no way. They only beautify our life and they are loving and they make our life more lively, colorful and interesting. We should preserve them, watch them, love them, enjoy their presence. God has made it clear. He says, I made all the animals to befriend you and help you. He never said you should eat them. He said it more clearly. He's afraid that we misunderstand him. Yeah, God knows. God knows. So he said, I made all the herbs in the field, all the fruits in the garden, which is beautiful to the eyes and good to the taste. These shall be your meals, no? He never said the animals, I made them for you to eat, no. He said we rule over them. They will be our helpers and friends, okay? So do not blacken God's reputation, yeah? God has made things so clear. If God has said He made all things for us, herbals and fruits, then we should obey Him and eat them. That's all. No need discussing any further, or no need any more proof. We should obey God's commandment and act according to God's divine plan. That's all. Is that not so? Why should we discuss all the time and argue back and forth?
Vegetarianism in religion.
The Baha'i Faith. Regarding the eating of animal flesh and abstinence therefrom, know thou of a certainty that, in the beginning of creation, God determined the food of every living being, and to eat contrary to that determination is not approved. Selections from the Baha'i writings of some aspects of health and healing.
Buddhism. All meats eaten by living beings are of their own relatives. Lankavatara Sutra. Also, after the birth of the baby, care must be exercised not to kill any animal in order to feed the mother with meaty delicacies, and not to assemble many relatives to drink liquor or to eat meat, because at the difficult time of birth there are innumerable evil demons, monsters and goblins who want to consume the smelly blood. By ignorantly and adversely resorting to the killing of animals for consumption, they bring down curses upon themselves, which are detrimental to both the mother and the baby. Ksitigarbha Sutra. Be careful during the days immediately after someone's death, not killing or destroying, or creating evil karma by worshipping or offering sacrifice to demons and deities, because such killing and slaughtering committed, or such worship performed, or such sacrifice offered, would not have even an iota of force to benefit the dead, but would entwine even more sinful karma into previous karma, making it even deeper and more serious. Thus, delay his rebirth to a good state. Karma means retribution. Ksitigarbha Sutra.
Gaudai. The most important thing is to stop killing, because animals also have souls and understand like humans. If we kill and eat them, then we owe them a blood debt. Teachings of the Saints.
Christianity. Meats for the belly, and the belly for meats, but God shall destroy both it and them. Holy Bible.
And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it was chewed, the wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a very great plague. Holy Bible.
Confucianism. All men have a mind which cannot bear to see the sufferings of others. The superior man, having seen the animals alive, cannot bear to see them die. Having heard their dying cries, he cannot bear to eat their flesh. Mencius. Essenes.
I am come to end the sacrifices and feasts of blood, and if ye cease not offering and eating of flesh and blood, the wrath of God shall not cease from you. Gospel of the Holy 12.
Hinduism. Since you cannot bring killed animals back to life, you are responsible for killing them. Therefore, you are going to hell. There is no way for your deliverance. Adalila.
He who desires to augment his own flesh by eating the flesh of other creatures lives in misery in whatever species he may take his birth. Mahabharata anew.
Islam. Allah will not give mercy to anyone except those who give mercy to other creatures. Hadith.
Do not allow your stomachs to become graveyards of animals. Hadith.
Jainism. A true monk should not accept such food and drink as has been specially prepared for him involving the slaughter of living beings. Sutrakatanga.
Judaism. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. Holy Bible. Blood meaning flesh.
Sikhism. Those mortals who consume marijuana, flesh, and wine, no matter what pilgrimages, fasts, and rituals they follow, they will all go to hell. Guru Granth Sahib.
Taoism. Do not go into the mountain to catch birds and nets, nor to the water to poison fishes and minnows. Do not butcher the ox that plows your field. Tract of the Quiet Way.
Tibetan Buddhism. The offering to the deities of meat obtained by killing animate beings is like offering a mother the flesh of her own child, and this is a grievous failure, the supreme path of discipleship.
Zoroastrianism. Those plants I, Ahura Mazda, or God, rain down upon the earth to bring food to the faithful and fodder to the beneficent cow. Avesta.
Can we reduce our karma by praying? Also, may one reduce his karma by distributing his total karma into several lives, so that we suffer less each life?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we can if we're sincere enough. Because a very sincere and deep prayer is a kind of meditation. You understand? We are in a meditative mood, and therefore it reaches the deepest recess of our grace store, our merits, our blessing store, and it affects, it cleanses. Only if we are truly sincere and deeply longing for the forgiveness, then it helps. Okay? The second question is, could we distribute the bad karma into many lives so that we can suffer less? Yes, you can do that, but you suffer more. I'll tell you why. Because each life we have already bad karma. And if you add the bad karma of this life, then you suffer more only. How can you be free? Each life of bad karma, that you add even this life of bad karma to it. Each life you have enough of bad karma to even to spare, to suffer. And if you add this life bad karma, then I think you suffer more, not less. Understand or not? Yes. You are never karma free as long as you are not enlightened. Doesn't matter what you do.
What are the differences between Catholicism and Buddhism? Are they essentially the same?
They are essentially the same. We are not here for comparative religious study, but therefore I couldn't go into details. But in my book, the book that my disciples have written, I guess I have mentioned these things. So please take them home and study. In case you have any disagreement or anything, misunderstanding or need clearing, you can write to me. Yeah?
Supreme Master Chinghai's lectures are not a complete meditation instruction. Please do not try alone. For free of charge guidance, please visit www.godsdirectcontact.org or contact any of our centers near you.
We thank you for your generous presence for today's episode of Words of Wisdom. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for more uplifting and constructive programs 24 hours a day, every day of the week. God bless and farewell for now.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/WOW.